Today, let's talk about organization because to me, the true key to reverse meal planning is you have to be organized, or else you could easily end up with spoiled food or stale food, food that's gone bad. But thankfully, I've kind of broken this up into three simple habits that you can start today to get organized for reverse meal planning. Now, I know I've mentioned this before, but taking an inventory of the stuff that you already have in your pantry, your fridge, your freezer. Ideally, you're going to update this as you use items, but honestly, I totally forget to do this. So I just do a quick inventory every couple months. But how I make that kind of work is so this month I might inventory my spice cabinet. Next month, I'll inventory the pantry. Then I'll do my freezer. Then I'll do my fridge. And then I just kind of keep rotating it out. So I'm not inventorying the same thing every month, but I do try to keep it all organized. Now, you can totally use some fancy, cute sheets, or you can just grab, a notebook or a pen and paper. And I like to store mine on my fridge just so that way, anytime I know where it is, I can grab it and I can check and see exactly how much of different items we have. Now, one thing I will note is that as I take an inventory, I put little stars or hearts or just a highlighter and I mark of things that are the oldest dates, like stuff that needs to be used up right away. So then as I'm meal planning, I know that I need to use these specific items as best or as quickly as I can. Now, if you don't already have it, I'm going to put a link down below to my free meal planning workbook because it has a ton of inventory sheets, even if you just want to use that as the starting point and then make your own. Totally optional. Now, this is one that I didn't necessarily think was very important. I had heard that there's people that date and label all of their food, but I wasn't really 100% on board with this until I realized that a lot of the items that we stock up on, whether it's a canned food, a boxed food, or even like things in the freezer, we tend to buy a good amount at a time. And we don't always wait until it's completely gone before we buy the next item. So, for instance, if there's a really good sale on something, I'm going to buy the next 3 to 4 months worth, but I may already have a few in stock. I may not be completely out. So, this is where labeling your food comes in really important. So, what I do is, I'm talking about anything that I can label, I do. And I just do this with a simple Sharpie. So, I label the top of things like canned food, boxed foods like a box of pasta, and then, of course, the plastic bags that I use in my freezer. Now, I actually have probably about 4 or 5 Sharpies floating around. I put them right there in my kitchen where I can easily grab them and just do it as I'm putting food away. Now, this is one of those things that if you just get into the habit of doing it, it just becomes second nature and it's so quick and easy. Now, the last tip or habit is first in, first out. So, if you've ever been to a grocery store and you see somebody stocking the shelves, what they typically do is they're going to move all of the items on the shelf to the front and they're going to put all the new items from the storeroom or the warehouse in the back. And I know there's a lot of people that purposely grab from the back to get the stuff that has the longest dates. So, I want you to do that same process at home. So, when I'm unloading my groceries, I always want to put the newest stuff at the very, very back. So that way I'm always using up the oldest stock that's in my house. So if I'm going to go grab a can of green beans, I want to grab the one with the next closest expiration date, something that's going to be expiring within the next couple months versus buying the green beans that I bought last week that don't expire for a year. This is going to make sure that the items that you have in your pantry or your freezer or your cabinets is always going to be good because while I don't believe that products go bad on the expiration date, I don't want to purposely mix it up to where I'm not using the food as quickly as I can as far as dates go. Now, there's plenty of foods out there that are perfectly fine past their expiration date, but I'm just saying, as a rule of thumb, I always want to make sure that the items that I bought first are going to be used And then the items that I bought last are going to be in the back. This will keep you basically rotating your stock, and then you won't have an issue. And this is where the date labeling comes in handy, because since everything's already date labeled, it's super easy to see which items need to get used first. Now, hopefully, you can use these 3 tips to make sure that your pantry, your freezer, your cabinets, and whatever you're using are basically set up for success and you aren't wasting food that never gets eaten. Now, to be technical, this isn't really 3 separate tips. It's kind of 3 steps that all work together, but they are super, super simple and you can start doing this today. So let me know down below, what are some other organizational hacks that you use that really help you with reverse meal planning? Definitely comment down below and let me know. I will see you guys later. Bye.